Now joined by Ashok Sajjanhar, former senior Indian diplomat on the show. Welcome Ashok ji to DD India News Hour. So 7 MP delegations are set to visit 33 countries to brief global leaders on India's resolve to firmly deal with terrorism against the backdrop of Operation Sindhur. Why has India felt it important to take the global community along in this matter?
Thank you very much for having me on the show. You see what India has done on 7th of May, and then this continued till the 10th of May. I think India has demonstrated that what it needs to do to protect its integrity, its sovereignty, and also the welfare of its nationals, its citizens, it will do, irrespective of what the global community thinks. It doesn't need any permission from the global community. However, it feels it necessary to reach out to the global community to address them as to what the major issues are, because Pakistan has been spreading a lot of misinformation. It has been spreading a lot of fake news as far as the issues are concerned, that that this was an unprovoked attack, what happened on the 7th of May, and that India was the one that was resorting to escalation in tension between the two countries. And we have to tell the world that, number one, it was not an escalatory attack as far as India is concerned. The escalation, the original escalation, was on the 22nd of April as far as the Pahalgam attack was concerned, in which 26 innocent civilians were mercilessly butchered in Pahalgam. So that was the original escalation, and India was only responding to it, providing justice to those who had suffered at the hands of terrorists, and making sure that the perpetrators of this terrorist crime, that they were made to account for, they were made to pay for what they had done. So I think there is basically some sort of confusion in the world community that, this is something to do with Kashmir, and on the issue of Kashmir, both India and Pakistan have been fighting for the last 30, 40, 50 years. So it is something of that nature. We have to tell our parliamentary delegations, have to tell the global community very categorically that this is not about Kashmir. The whole issue of Kashmir was resolved in 2019. This is a fight against terrorism. And if India is fighting this fight, it is not only for itself, but it is for the whole world. And that is why our initial attack on the 7th May was only against terrorist strongholds and hideouts. It was not against civilians of Pakistan. It was not against military establishment of Pakistan. So I think it is very necessary to tell the world that Pakistan is the epicenter of terrorism, and the world needs to apply pressure on Pakistan to stop its support to terrorism. Otherwise, it is going to be very harmful, not only for India, because India can take care of itself, but it's going to be very harmful for the world also.
Okay, what would you say about the composition of the MP delegations, which include members of key opposition parties and former diplomats, and what would likely have guided the selection of the delegation members?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this is a very excellent question. Number one, by sending an all-out delegation of different political parties to the various countries, India sends out a very clear message that the country is united on this particular aspect. There are two perspectives on this. One is that when the perpetrators, when the terrorists hit out on the 22nd of April, they had thought that they will be able to sow communal discord, that there is going to be communal violence between the Hindus and the Muslims, because the Hindus are going to get very angry that these people have been killed on the basis, 25 of them have been killed on the basis of religion, because they were Hindus, they were not Muslims. So there is going to be that anger, and that will lead to communal disturbances, and that would meet the objectives as far as the Pakistan army is concerned. I think India has behaved remarkably, the Indian people have behaved remarkably well, that not only has there been no communal disturbance, the whole country and the whole of Kashmir has come together to say that, the country, India, should make Pakistan pay for what it has done. Secondly, as far as the parliament is concerned, because parliament represents the people, so when there are all party delegations that are going, that are combined, there are some delegations that are headed by Congress, by DMK, by Shiv Sena, etc., and also by the ruling party, one of the constituents of the ruling party, that is BJP. I think it gives out a very strong message that the country is united on this fight against terrorism, and the country will do everything that is required. Also, these, all the delegates that have been chosen, they are very articulate. They know the subject. For instance, Shashi Tharoor is the chair of the Parliamentary Foreign Relations Committee. He's had such amazing experience in the United Nations, and also is a four-term member. He knows the subject, and he's able to express it very well. Similarly, there are, whether it is Mr. Baijant Panda or Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad or Manish Tiwari, they are all very well known to have a very keen interest as far as foreign affairs is concerned. And the inclusion of diplomats, senior diplomats in these delegations is basically to do hand-holding and provide briefing. These are all diplomats who have served in those areas where the delegations are going. So they will be able to brief them, tell them about the sensitivities, tell them about what are the areas, what are the issues which they should touch upon, which would be of particular concern and interest as far as those countries are concerned. So I think excellent decision, excellent choice of countries, excellent choice of delegates.
Okay. The central message here, India's zero tolerance against cross-border terrorism. Thank you very much, Ashok Sajjanhar ji, for giving us your insight on the subject.